So I talked last week about a coaching client who was completing our coaching relationship, and she had this aha that in order to really move forward in her life and to create the joy she wanted and the success she wanted professionally in the next phase, she needed to step into forgiveness and forgiving somebody who had hurt her badly, a business partner who had taken advantage of her and had manipulated her. And it was this huge aha that we talked about last week. Well, the other piece of her awareness that she had in our final coaching session was this realization that in order to really move forward, not only did she have to forgive him, but she had to forgive herself. And she realized that she was beating herself up. She was spiraling. How could I not have seen this? How could I not have known? How could I have gotten into a relationship with somebody who could do this? How could I trust him? How could I, right? She was just spiraling and really upset with herself for not knowing. And yet, she didn't know. She was blindsided. She had no idea that her business partner was doing these illegal activities. And she realized that she had to forgive herself. So I'm wondering in your life, where is the place that you are hanging on to anger or bitterness or resentment for something that you did or something that you said, that you need to forgive yourself so that you can learn from it and grow and move on instead of being stuck in this spiral? Because you're human, I'm human. We do things that we are not proud of. We do things that, with the value and benefit of hindsight, we would do differently if we had a redo. And yet, to beat yourself up and to be in this place of spiraling gets in the way of you learning the lessons you need to learn to move forward. And indeed, on my journey, that was a big part of my process. And one of the reasons when John was arrested in March of 2016, I'm only now finding the strength to talk about it and to share, hoping that you might be able to take some nuggets away in your life. Part of the reason it took me this long is because I was working through how to find forgiveness in my heart for John, and how to forgive myself. Because the same thing that my client went through is exactly what I went through. How could I not have known? How could I not have seen this? How could I have allowed myself to get in a relationship with somebody who would do this? And my therapist was critical in helping me recognize that beating myself up was there was nothing good that can come of that. That John had gotten masterful at deception, at lying, at betrayal. That was unfortunately part of his addiction and part of his problem. And so I've forgiven myself. And I'm now stepping into now that I know better, how can I do better? Maya Angelou says that. When you know better, you do better. And so there's an invitation for you today to forgive yourself, to accept that you're human, that if you had it to do again, you'd do it differently. So embrace that knowledge and give yourself the gift of doing it differently next time. I thank you for joining me to just be able to share these vignettes and stories from my life, my clients' life, case studies on how to be high performing. This is important. And this is like the stuff that often isn't talked about. Certainly not in the workplace when you're looking at high performing cultures, forgiveness, and yet it's critical Because in order to be high performing, you have to look at and take a holistic approach. So do what you need to do to get yourself the support to forgive yourself, whether it's journaling or meditation or seeing a therapist or working with a coach. And if there's something that I can do or my team can do to help you on this journey, please reach out. Jill is my coaching coordinator. You can do a free chemistry session, a free exploratory session. She'll help identify what coach is the best for you, and you can work through some of these things and figure out where you want to get unstuck and how you can move forward and forgive yourself to create a future that you love. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Have a great weekend. I'm Darcy Loma. Happy Thoughtfully Fit Thursday. Take care.